Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Vampire Survivors on this channel, and it's been a little bit of a while since I've showcased this video game, but there is new DLC for it, and I am more than happy to dive right back into it for you. I have been playing it sort of off-camera and in my own time. I did also make a number of videos about it on the channel already, but let's get into this DLC. This is going to be more of a first impressions video, because there is a fair amount of content added, and it will be difficult for me to review everything and play through everything and make a comprehensive video like that, so I will settle for a first impressions video. I will say that prior to the release of this patch and this DLC, which I just bought, I had everything unlocked. I think I was missing like one or two secrets, but in terms of the collection and the unlocks, I had everything. So, with that said, let's open it up. I haven't played the DLC yet. Well, actually, I did test it just to make sure it was working, but I haven't actually played the DLC yet. So let's head into the unlocks and see what we have. So, there you go. There are a number of new characters, the most fascinating of which is this. Look at it. It's glorious. Obviously, a whole heap of weapons. This will also give you money. New characters for you to unlock. There is a new stage. Over in the collection, you can also see, I did seal 4 things in the collection, by the way, that I don't like, which is something that you're going to have to do with this DLC and with the game in the future in general. You're going to have to go to Poway over here, and yeah, obviously I've bought everything except for these seals. You're going to have to buy a few of these, and you're going to have to start removing stuff from the collection that you don't want. Because there is a bit of a bloatation, that's not a word, but there is a bit of a problem with bloating in this game, in that there is a comprehensive, that's not the word I'm looking for, there is a, let's be honest, stupendous amount of weapons and items and characters being added into the game, which is good. I think that's phenomenal for the future of the game, but it also means that, I think this is the best way to look at it, yeah, it also means that it's kind of difficult to get the combos you want in a given run. Now, the game does provide you with additional rerolls, with banishes, with all sorts of different mechanics with which you can tamper what item you can get, including one of my favourite items in the game, the candy box, which just allows you to pick any weapon you want in the game. So yeah, it's great. I love it, but you're going to have to toy around with it a little bit. You can't just neglect upgrades and neglect sealing some items and stuff like that. You're going to have to, keep up with it, let's say. Alright, so let's try out this new stage with one of my favourite characters. I'm not going to use any of the secret ones. I think that'd be a bit, it wouldn't be exactly fair to the game. Let's use Pugnala, I think. Yeah, let's use Pugnala, one of my favourite characters. I was going to do it at first with one of the basic characters that you start the game off with, but, let's use something in between a secret character and one of the basic ones, shall we? Okay. Good. Now, chance to freeze enemies is not bad. I am going to use these... Ooh, Mad Grove wouldn't be bad, but let's not do that. I feel like that'd be breaking the stage unnecessarily. What shall we use as our... I think this, obviously, because we start off with this weapon, and then we can use the freezing enemies and... Oh, that's going to be about it. I think that's going to be enough. Okay, so I did notice that there are new effects. Did I not remove the... I did not remove the birds. I thought I removed those birds for a second. I do notice that there are new sort of cloud puffing effects when you kill these enemies, and they look bloody gorgeous. There's also a bit of a cross that appears when you actually hit them. I like the effects a lot. I also like the way the stage looks. I think it's really, really neat. Let's re-roll this for... King's Bible is always good. Alright. In terms of music, I think you can... I'm actually not 100% sure whether I was supposed to choose the default music for this level, or maybe I had something pre-selected, so I won't comment on it too much. The music in the game in general, I think, fits really well, but is nothing, wow and completely astonishing. It serves the purpose. If you want some really high quality 8-bit or 16-bit tunes, I think it was 16-bit and then the other version of it was 32-bit, check out the game called The Messenger. It's a platformer. with some fairly interesting mechanics where you switch between worlds of various bitrate. And the game was pretty fun, but the music to that game was one of the finest soundtracks I've heard in video game history. But music aside, let's take a look at the map first of all. So we have your merchant in the middle as always, the two rings and the two arrow signs, I suppose. I'm not sure what their official name is. And then we have something to unlock in the upper right corner, and then we have that new sword up there as well. Along with that, we have the traction orb, the ring, and the chandelier and the mask down there. The heart thing, a new molar, I think, or something, and spinach. Here's the thing. I don't make the effort to remember all of the names of the, I'm gonna banish this. Let's start banishing items. I never made the effort to remember the official names of all of the items. I remember the icons, right? Which is a bit problematic because the icons sometimes change a little bit, but generally the idea stays the same. So I might get a few names wrong for the items and the evolutions and stuff. I apologize if I do, but it really doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want as long as the, so as long as we understand each other and it's functionally the same thing. So if I call the spinach leaf a leaf and not the spinach, you would have understood what I meant, etc, etc. Alright. Reroll this stuff, and I just want to keep evolving my weapons and get a few passives. I don't want to stock up on too many things right now. It does seem like a relatively difficult stage because, well, maybe not relatively difficult, but relatively crowded as well. It's definitely not as easy as the initial few stages of the game that you have unlocked. Oh, let's pick this up. I mean, I could have saved it, but way too early on in the game to start saving stuff. Let's start making our way up. We are going to have to not pick up a few things, unfortunately, but that's fine. Let's start making our way over towards, well, the sword, obviously, which I'm quite interested in, because it looks pretty darn awesome, and the question mark on the map, which on the display over here looks like a black box of some description, which I could only assume is used for some occult ritual. That's what I think, at least right now. We shall see as we progress. I want to upgrade the two... I don't know what they're called. It's the starting weapon, I don't know what it's called. But the two weapons that shoot those little balls that go in, that travel in an X shape. That's what I want to get. Oh, that's interesting. Can they go down from there? No, they can't. Ha! Very interesting. So there's cliffs like this, apparently, or ooh, that's amusing as well. I like that a lot. Use of terrain, basically, which the game so far hasn't made the most amount of use of, and hasn't really used as a mechanic all that much. I mean, there was a little bit of it in the factory. The bridge, obviously, is kind of a special stage for something like that, but it's a bit simplistic. This is the first time I think I'm seeing proper terrain features influencing gameplay to such an extensive amount. Oh, there's like a house in here as well. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. So, see, unlike, for example, the library or the grove or whatever, there's a lot of variety in the terrain. You can see the house, you can see a forest which you can't actually go through, like a bunch of trees that the enemies can't go through either. I'm going to go ahead and assume that there is a way past all of this. Kind of reminds me of Pokemon a fair bit, which is obviously a good thing. It does mess up with the spawn of the enemies a tiny touch. And obviously the map isn't going to do us any favors, but yeah, you do need to explore a little bit, turns out, and it's no longer a case of just going from A to B like it is on practically every single other map. Now you have actual corridors and rooms and... Well, there's a wall there, which I'm not quite sure I like how that affects the camera, but fine. Yeah, again, like walls, buildings, roofs, fences, that's... I like that. I like that quite a bit. So far, the game's use of terrain, up until this DLC, was very simplistic. You can never run into a dead end like this. Occasionally, you'd have to... What the hell is that? Okay, that scared me a little bit. Not gonna lie. Just ever so slightly scared of that. Is that a boss? Or like a mini-boss? Or did I just happen upon him by being here? Yeah, I'm not... My health is not doing fabulously well. I might want to be a bit careful. Okay. Okay, not gonna lie, I like it. I like it. This is not a simple stage. And this is not on inverted. This is the regular mode. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be my first death. Let's get back up and pick up a few upgrades. I'm noticing the performance occasionally tanks a little bit. I'm playing this with the experimental fix for the performance as well, so... You know, could be better, could be worse, I suppose, but it will get fixed eventually. Every time there's a big update to the game, there is a little bit of an issue with performance! I wish I could grab those two fires and probably get some chickens out of them, but... Unfortunately, not gonna happen. Wow, okay, do I even have 2 revives on this character? I'm not sure. Okay, never mind, there's a chicken there, we're saved. Temporarily. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I thought I was just gonna have a, you know, relatively straightforward and simple time exploring this, stage and map, but turns out, not that simple. Okay, I think that's the boss dead. We might have killed him a little bit off camera, that's fine though. So this was like the I guess, village slash monastery slash something segment, and we made it through it, if just barely. I do want to get some of the weapons though, and I do want to make this a informative video as much as I possibly and physically can. But to be fair, this is a sort of end game level in that you know in the list it does appear after everything else is unlocked. So you know, I don't expect it to be easy. The game certainly, once you've unlocked enough stuff, does not seem to have a problem with being too difficult. Inverse mode kind of amended that, but inverse mode isn't really for completing the game or having challenges, it's for earning money. No, inverse mode is just an added layer of difficulty, fair enough, but in regular mode, the game certainly is not difficult once you've unlocked enough things. I think the King's Bible has been nerfed at some point. Oh, look at that, there's a genie character. I've unlocked that character. It's fun to see it appear here, though. That's interesting. Okay, as soon as I upgrade these 2 arrows, I'm going to have a much easier time getting through the level, and hopefully I'm going to be able to, well, for one, get out of this enclosed area and try and find that sword and the little box thing. Let's add another revive because I don't trust myself. Again, I could have gone with the Green Grove as a card to start off with, and I think the sword would have appeared right next to me. But like I said, it breaks the game a little bit. You know, there's no sense of wonder. It breaks the stage, teleports everything, you know. I want to explore it, I want to find stuff on my own. At least initially. But, overall, what I can say about the game is that this stage, and obviously with the new items and everything, it adds a new sense of adventure and a new sense of wonder to the game, which I think is, you know, not desperately needed. There's still a lot of content in the game, but is needed for the more veteran players out there. Oh, we can actually go inside the building. Oh, that's amusing. Ooh, I like this. Oh, there's a luck upgrade. Not sure I love the fact that they can go through these walls, but I understand it's for balance reasons. But they can't go through the cliffs. That's very interesting. So there's some things they can go through, and others they can't. The enemies, I mean, that's a neat way of designing the level and everything. So you still mostly play by similar rules, except they can go through some walls. That's pretty good, honestly. I wonder if this has been nerfed as well. Maybe not. Hopefully not. No, looks alright. Damage doesn't seem stellar, though. Maybe it's just a stage, I don't know. Alright, not gonna lie, I'm a tiny bit lost, so let's pick up this magnet. Or attract orb, I think it's officially called. And I'm going to banish this box. Don't need it. And I'm going to try and... what do I want to get? There's a whole heap of stuff I can get. Let's get the lightning ring. Because I do want to get the duplicator as quickly as possible. Although I can pick it up as well, which usually means I shouldn't get it from the level up screen, because it can act as a 6th passive item, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 7th passive item, sorry. Had to check. Had to check. Alright, let's get out of this village type area. I wonder if this probably isn't randomly generated, right? This is probably custom built, but I do expect that it does also repeat if you go, you know, an infinite amount of space to the left or right, or maybe not. It looks like the map... I don't know if the map is completely surrounded by forest and is limited, or is unlimited like the... I want to say all the other maps. Technically not true. The arena is limited, but all of the regular maps, let's say. There's a few special ones that aren't unlimited. And by that I mean you can go for 30 minutes in any of the cardinal directions and you will not reach the end of the map, so to speak. Okay, so I couldn't find it over here. Let's go up and then to the right. Maybe we can go past these cliffs and into... some new kind of area. Also, the game seems a lot easier now. It's not impossible that... Oh, hello! That's one of the characters I can unlock, I think. Well, I don't think I'm going to unlock him by killing him. But it is one of the playable characters. Like I said, glorious. Look at him. Absolutely glorious. That's me after New Year's Eve and Christmas and all the other holidays. Okay, I do like this path though. It's very reminds me of the Skyrim path you take up to the top of the world. The Graviers monastery. Oh, and I'm assuming that's kind of like a mine or something? I can't go inside the mine through the wall, but they can teleport through it, these ogres, I guess, or orcs or something. That's something new. Interesting, that's something new. That's a purple chest. What does it do? I want to open it. Oh! So purple chest gives you another one of these, does it? Okay. Obviously we can re-roll them. I think this will help me get out of this terrible situation that I found myself in. Which, well, let's not kid ourselves, is pretty darn terrible. Okay, it's fine though, as long as I steer clear of the ogres. Ah! Right. Gonna be a bit of a problem, I see, to steer clear of the ogres. At least I'm gonna get the Knight Sword. Dangerous cursed weapon, retaliates, might steal hearts. Not quite sure what you mean by might steal hearts, but there we go, we picked it up. And we've unlocked it. So it would seem that the stage varies in difficulty as you progress through it, which is, or as you reach certain areas of the stage, it's not linear. For example, I'll show you in case you haven't played the game in a while. Actually, let's go for another run and pick a different character. Let's go with... Let's try a secret character for once, to try and make the video a little bit more interesting. Leader? Yeah, let's go with Leader. Why not? Alright. One of the more basic secret characters, but also pretty darn fun. And I've completely neglected to show you what I wanted to. Alright, give me a second. Sorry about that. So... if you take, for example, Mad Forest or Inlaid Library or Dairy Plant, the level of difficulty and the difficulty in the enemies that you face is dependent on the time in the level and your power, like what level you are. So if you're on the 15th minute, there's going to be a certain type of enemy attacking you. It would appear to me that there's probably the same in... this mountain, the Mount Moonspell, but there's also an added difficulty in that certain areas have different types of enemies. So if you go into the monastery or up that path too early, you get pwned, like I just did. I mean, certainly that's what it seems like, let's just say. Which, you know, I respect. That's pretty gosh darn interesting. Let's go with... gain 3 bounces, that might not be the terrible. A chance to freeze enemies, yeah, let's go with that. And Leader's going to have no problems whatsoever dealing with the early stages, but we might want to stay here for a while longer this time. Who knows? And might want to banish a few additional things. I am very curious about that question mark, though. But it's probably going to take a little bit more effort to get to it than it has for the previous unlockable characters, which were trivially easy to unlock, at least most of them. The secret characters were a little bit difficult, some of them, but the basic characters in the game... Oh, I picked up the wrong thing. You really don't want to pick up Magic Wand with Leader. Never mind, though. Tell you what, I did want to make this a very quick video, didn't want to show a... Well, full run fine if I survived, but now I don't want to, like, the video to go on for an hour or so of me finishing this run as well. So I think we're gonna cut it a bit short. It is a very, very interesting piece of DLC. It is dirt cheap, and I think it's definitely worth the price with the amount of items and with this new stage alone. I think it's very much worthwhile because it's unlike any of the other stages. It's not just a reskin of the Mad Forest or the library or something. There's a heap of content here, there's a lot to explore, and there's new gameplay mechanics and elements for you to interact with the, you know, with the terrain and everything. Take a look at the terrain in Mad Grove, for example. There's just some bits that you can't go through and have to go around, like bushes and trees and stuff like that. Here, it's completely different. Here, you need, like, you know, you have actual cliffs that you need to walk around for a good while, and paths, and, you know, custom little areas to explore, mines and stuff like that, buildings, indoor areas and stuff like that. To see something like this in the game is very exciting, and it makes me very excited for the future prospects. There was a story mode, I think, planned at some point, but now we can see that, you know, we can actually get something along those lines. We can get a bit of a narrative, a bit of a world building through the enemies and through, you know, a bit of storytelling through the environment. So yeah, I think that's quite interesting, and I really like where the game's going, and I really love that it's still being developed and that the support for it is still out there. You know, still exists and is still quite neat and vocal, at least as far as I can tell. A lot of big streamers are playing the game again with the release of the DLC, even though they don't have like a tenth of the actual items that you can unlock prior to the DLC, but never mind if it gets them interested. Who cares? That's all I'm saying, is there's still plenty of stuff for you to unlock and do without buying the DLC, so, you know, if you're going to talk about worth and stuff like that, and value for money and stuff, you know, you might want to investigate the game's value currently without the DLC, maybe a tiny touch more. But my criticism of big streamers playing games and not knowing too much about them aside, how I've been guilty of doing something similar, just without being a big content creator, so I completely understand. But yeah, just saying, really happy that that people are still interested in the game, that it's still getting support, that's actively being developed, and actually very actively being developed. I love it, and I think it's still one of the key things that really surprised me about this game is the value. It's excellent. Like, it's dirt cheap, like $2. That's a candy bar nowadays, and probably even not that. You know, you can't find a burger for that much, even in some of the cheaper and poorer countries of the world. I think nowadays you need like at least $2.50, $3 to find a decent burger over here. I don't even want to talk about KFC or McDonald's or a Burger King or something. So for the price of a burger, you get hours of entertainment easily, with new characters, new unlocks, and all sorts of stuff like that. Absolutely well worth your time, especially if you like the game up until now. I mean, if you like the game up until now, you don't need me to tell you anything. You're going to get the DLC. If you haven't played it yet, I've made a bunch of videos on it on the channel already. You can check them out. I thoroughly recommend it. It's not much to look at. Visually, the game, like, I will say, when you actually look at people play it, it doesn't seem all that interesting until you actually pick it up and start playing for yourself. It's not much of a viewing experience, but it is a pleasure to play, and it is really, really fun. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. These have been my first impressions of the new DLC for Vampire Survivors. I will do a follow-up video if there's enough interest with, you know, showcasing some of the new characters, some of the new weapons once I've unlocked them. But until then, my name is Juggernaut. Please do remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video, and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on this channel. It helps it helps me out quite a bit, and that's about all I have for you today. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.